guys, it's Francesca from Consciousful Tarot. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and tuning into my channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Today I'm going to be making a new celebrity video on Cardi B and Offset. So I'm going to go ahead and elaborate what's their purpose together, how they each feel, and what's going to happen in their connection moving forward. Okay. About to go raw. Okay, so I am seeing that their connection is actually for them to build trust together. They're actually also meant to expand their connection by actually creating abundance, traveling, and influencing people. So obviously they are celebrities, but their connection in totality is meant to help them defeat and overcome their trust issues, because they both have lack of emotional intelligence, and they're meant to defeat and overcome their trust issues that were developed when they were younger. They both were potentially raised in environments that they didn't feel safe, or they felt like there was a lot of threats. So they both came into each other's lives to actually help overcome that trauma, you know, because they both developed self-sabotage behaviors that could have like weakened their emotional balance. They could have both prior to marrying each other, they could have both been in like only lustful connections. Like they probably didn't really ever fall in love before, or it wasn't deep, and they actually were brought together. I do see that they're soulmates. They were brought together to actually learn how to co-create a love connection, and not to find it just with sexuality. They were also brought together and are together in order to, like I said, develop emotional intelligence, and in order to communicate effectively and proactively rather than in a backhanded way. They were also meant to overcome their deceptive tendencies, because both of them have deceptive tendencies. They were also meant to help each other reach success. I see that this connection is tested with a lot of other lustful connections. Like they do have a lot of like desires and a lot of other like connections that have been brought into their lives in order to test their connection. And unfortunately, they weren't able to control themselves. And I do see that they have repeated a lot of the lessons that they were actually meant to overcome. But overall, their lesson here was for them not to handle their issues or handle the deception in a backhanded way, for them to overcome deception, and for them to overcome manipulative behavior with proactive communication and effective communication, rather than being intimidated or bullying and scolding each other. So they're meant to actually hone compassion and sympathy for one another, because like God and divine kind of like orchestrated events where they were going to be tested with like other people, and they were meant to hone tolerance, compassion, emotional generosity towards each other, to have like calm conversations to overcome and rebuild the trust and stay optimistic about their connection. This connection was also meant to like potentially test their strength when it comes to their career, and actually trigger their creativity when it comes to their career. So it's through the pain that you actually get power as you learn in life, and it's through their pain and through them betraying each other in their connection that actually made them more creative in their work. So they have multiple choices in this connection, and ultimately their goal was for them to choose each other. And the main goal here was communication and not allowing the aggression to overcome them. Because I'm not saying that they were ever physically aggressive with each other, but I am seeing there was a lot of like potential like self-sacrifice or emotional abuse and verbal abuse that they're supposed to overcome. So let's go ahead and move on to how Cardi B thinks and feels about Offset. So I am seeing that she has a major trust issue with him. She's wanting to focus on the positive, but she does feel as though he is very deceptive. She feels She's threatened him a lot with potentially divorcing, but she's very apathetic right now. She doesn't want to regret the situation. She doesn't want to leave it behind, but she feels very lonely, very heartbroken, very deceived. She actually has like done a lot of investigation, and I am seeing her like hovering over his information, his phone, his files, his emails, and literally has seen him cheat on her, like emotionally cheating, like text messages and calls, like him meeting up with certain people when he was like supposed to be somewhere else. So she has a lot of evidence that he has cheated, like, and this is recently, this has been ongoing. I'm seeing in the year 2022, literally in the last potentially 3 weeks as well. So she's under a lot of heartache, a lot of grief, a lot of sorrow, especially because she just had the baby, and she feels like, I'm not gonna lie, she feels very like she doesn't want to be self-absorbed, but she feels like disillusioned because she's like, oh my god, like he's cheated on me before, how can I continue to do this to myself? So she feels a lot of apathy right now. She feels bad for herself, but she also feels a little bit stagnated. She feels like she wants to kind of discard this connection, but she's also very content with their financial situation that she almost numbs herself with that. So I do see her overindulging, overeating, like overstimulating herself. I do possibly even see herself potentially like pleasuring herself with other people, but it's also at a point like where she's like, why are we in a commitment then? You know what I mean? Like, is this actually even something? So she feels very like wanting to refuse the fact that they're actually married. Like, you know, she just feels as though there's a lot of stagnation in this connection, and she feels very negative about the idea of them being married. I do see her, like I said, already have information that he's been having sex with other females, that there's been infidelity and a love affair, and she's just tired of all the scheming, all the underhanded behavior, because he's like a very good liar, you know what I mean? And he's very good at being like stubborn when it comes to like not admitting it. So like this triggers her because she just feels exhausted when it comes to trying to get things out of him. You know, like, and I'm seeing like she's like trying to like say like he can't take risky behavior because it's dangerous, and like I'm picking up like she's talking about like him getting sick or like getting STD, and she just feels as though he doesn't have like he has a lack of conscience, and she's just like tired of it, you know what I mean? So I am seeing her potentially either waiting for him to confess, to come clean, in order for them to like either like start a new cycle, or just like see what they're gonna do. But she feels very stuck, and she just like is really addicted right now to watching his deception and keeping an eye on him. And I'm also seeing that she could also like test him, like she could like make fake profiles and test him, and then like he loses the challenge, you know what I mean? So I am seeing that Cardi B literally has all her resources. She is like the FBI, I swear to God. Like, she is watching him, you know what I mean? And she knows, she has a lot of information here. Like, he can't hide. Offset cannot hide anything from her. Like, she knows everything. So she's just like trying to trust him, but she really can't right now. Okay, so I am seeing that the way that Offset thinks and feels about Cardi B. 1 second. Okay. Offset, sorry about that. The way that Offset thinks and feels about Cardi B is that, so Offset potentially has a sex addiction or like a slight mental illness where he doesn't know how to tell right from wrong, or he doesn't know how to face the truth. Like, he's like one of those guys that like are always in denial. Like, he may have potential like narcissistic tendencies, or he's so irrational to the point where he can't really reason or fess up. Like, his his conscious is so dirty to the point like where he doesn't know right from wrong. You know what I mean? So he's at a point where he's understanding that he has a two-faced mentality, like he's very deceptive, and he's trying to get help. I'm not gonna lie, like he feels as though he has a problem, you know. So he's wanting to release all the pain that he's caused to Cardi B. He's been trying to talk to her like one-on-one, but he's still in denial about some things that she's confronting him. He's projecting to actually like do something with her in order to like mend her heart, because he finds her to be like he can't compare her to anyone. Like, as much as he has like this he's probably a nympho, like he has this tendency to cheat and fuck around, he finds Cardi B to be the perfect package. Like, he can't compare her to anyone. Like, that's like his divine feminine. That's like the female that tops everyone. And he's so lost, like, when it comes to why he constantly contradicts himself. But he recognizes that he has an addiction here, and his intention is to heal the heart. His intention is to heal this cycle and to free himself from this pattern. But he's deeply hurt and he's grieving and mourning right now. So he's trying to summon the strength to actually break the cycles of the patterns. He feels as though Cardi B is also his soulmate, like they belong together, and he wants to maintain their commitment. So he's wanting to help himself to get out of this nasty pattern and learn about his potential nymphomania and come out of this in order to save the connection with Cardi, because she's at a point where like she's gonna start threatening him, and she's already threatening him and to leave, and he doesn't want to break up with her. And he's very sad that may be the case, because he constantly is repeating it. So in the near future and within the next few weeks, I am seeing him planning a surprise to really redeem the connection. And this may be with like action. Like, I'm not seeing him buying her much, but like action orientated stuff, like being consistent for the next weeks and months. And therefore he's going to be able to actually experience a loyal commitment, and they're going to be able to build a long-term connection here. So I'm seeing that Cardi B is also already opening the doors to other options, and this has Offset like freaking out, because he like, it's like he's like one-sided, like he has double standards. Like, he feels as though it was okay for him to do a bunch of stuff, but when it comes to like Cardi B doing something with another guy, like he's not cool with it. Now he's wanting to tighten up, you know? Okay, so the way what's gonna happen between them in the near future. Okay, 1 second. So I am seeing that there's going to be a phase where they're going to try to have cooperative communication. They're both going to be transparent and assertive. He's going to admit a lot of the lies that he's been trying to conceal from her. He's going to give up his facade. He's going to go to therapy. He's going to get help. He's going to have honest and, you know, very truthful connections with her. He's going to learn how to not be a compulsive liar, because he may have a compulsive lying issue as well. Very self-deceptive and deceptive to others. So I do see them getting therapy, and him admitting all the secrets, even though she already knows most of them. They're still going to have a lot of codependency issues, and I do see them eventually getting divorced. Like, there's not going to be much that's going to come of this situation, because it does seem as though it is like a dead end. Like, there will be also losses in their connection. Like, they will eventually get divorced. I'm seeing that it will be like in a few years though. This can be in the next 3 years. And they're gonna sell their properties, and I am seeing Offset having the law. So obviously they're not gonna go broke, but Cardi B will go off with like more of the money. You know what I mean? Ultimately, they're gonna have a lot of realizations. Cardi B is going to threaten him a lot as well, and kind of like try to embarrass him. But at the end of the day, they do have a blood tie, and they do have they have like an inner circle that she's gonna talk like a lot of shit about him in this inner circle, create a lot of petty and gossip. But ultimately, the connection will be given up, but it may take like 3 years. And overall, this is going to make Offset feel very inadequate and lower his self-esteem. But it's also going to help him learn a vital lesson about needing to be, you know, authoritative and honest and truthful, and, you know, lead by ethics and morality, and be detached from, you know, his old patterns, you know. And he's gonna be able to reason and really gain control over his psyche and his behavior patterns. When it comes to Cardi B, she's going to feel like a boss. She's going to want to get into a connection where she's going to be faithful. And this is actually going to deepen her sensitivity, because Offset has made Cardi B very sensitive. Even though she's also, in a sense, has, you know, pleasured herself during the time that he was potentially cheating, or when he was. This connection overall is going to make Cardi B feel a lot more powerful and a lot more intuitive. She's going to become much more happier. Offset's going to be the one that's going to kind of be like really detached. He's going to be different after this connection. Like, his music may be also very different. Like, we may see him like rapping about like needing to do the right thing, and like, you know, he's going to go through like a massive identity change. Obviously still making music, but, you know, maybe being more like romantic and less with the language that he talks about. Overall, we will see them getting divorced, and the lesson is, like I said, for them just to develop proactive communication with each other and learn how to trust each other. But this connection was not meant to be a lifetime. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the celebrity reading. Leave in the comments below what celebrity reading you want me to do next. And if you want a personal reading, you can go to consciousfultarot.com. And you could also check me out on TikTok and Instagram. Bye, my star friends.